What if I told you that one tiny habit, done just once every 2 weeks, could be the difference between a Honda that runs forever and one that starts acting tired way too soon? Today, we are breaking down the simple routine that could save your engine, your money, and a whole lot of future headaches. Checking oil level. Okay, so let us start with the one thing that protects almost everything inside the engine. What is the single fastest way to ruin a Honda engine without even realizing it? Running it low on oil, or worse, running dirty oil for too long. Every 1 to 2 weeks, you need to check the engine oil level. Do not wait for a dashboard light to tell you something is wrong. Park the car on level ground, let the engine cool down for about 5 to 10 minutes so the oil drains back into the pan. Pull out the dipstick, wipe it clean, put it back in fully, then pull it out again. The oil film should sit squarely between the L and F marks, or the 2 dots, depending on your specific dipstick design. If it is near or below the lower mark, top it up immediately with the exact grade specified in your owner's manual, like 0W20 or 5W20. Modern Honda engines rely on highly precise oil clearances, and running thin modern oils means there is very little margin for error. And while you are standing there, do not just look at the level. Look closely at the oil itself. Healthy oil is usually amber to light brown and relatively clear. If it looks very dark, thick, or pitch black, that is your engine telling you the oil has sheared down, collected excessive carbon, and desperately needs to be changed. Furthermore, if you smell a strong burnt odor inside the cabin, or if you notice a distinct puff of blue smoke from the exhaust tailpipe when you accelerate, that means oil is getting past the piston rings or valve guides and burning right up in the combustion chamber. That is an absolute red flag. When oil gets low or dirty, friction skyrockets. Your variable valve timing systems, like Honda's famous VTEC, rely heavily on precise hydraulic oil pressure to function. Without clean, sufficient oil, those actuators fail, components wear down at triple the normal speed, internal temperatures surge, and the engine begins eating itself from the inside out. Once you have checked that dipstick, do not just slam the hood shut and walk away quite yet. Moving on, what is the next tiny problem that can turn into a monumental mechanical failure if you never notice it? A slow, creeping leak under the engine or gearbox. Every 2 weeks, make it a habit to check where you park. If you have a garage, look at the concrete. If you park on the street, try parking on a clean surface or sliding a piece of clean cardboard under the engine bay after a short drive. Come back a little later and inspect it for fresh drops or wet, dark spots. Fluids are the narrative of your engine's health, and their colors tell a very specific story that you need to be able to read instantly. If you see a fluid that is brown or black and feels incredibly slippery, you are looking at engine oil or transmission fluid. This usually points toward a failing oil pan gasket, a leaking front or rear main seal, or even just a loose drain plug from your last oil change. If the fluid shows up as green, blue, pink, or amber, and it carries a distinctively sweet smell, that is engine coolant. Spotting this means you are dealing with a vulnerable radiator hose, a failing water pump weep hole, or a hairline crack in the plastic radiator end tanks. A yellowish, clear, and highly slippery fluid is almost always brake fluid, which is a massive safety hazard that requires an immediate tow. And finally, if you find a clear fluid with a pungent, piercing odor, that is raw gasoline. Fuel leaks are an immediate fire hazard and should never be ignored for even a single second. A small, microscopic leak today is simply a massive, expensive repair bill waiting to happen tomorrow. If you see anything suspicious pooling beneath your car, do not just keep an eye on it and hope it miraculously heals itself. Get it straight to a dedicated service center before that tiny drip turns into a catastrophic pressure loss. Temperature control and critical fluids. Now let us talk about thermal dynamics, because if there is one thing an aluminum engine block hates more than starvation, it is running hot. What do you think happens when your Honda runs too hot, even just a few times. You can easily end up with warped cylinder heads, blown head gaskets, or in a worst-case scenario, a completely cracked engine block. Modern engines are built using lightweight aluminum alloys. While great for fuel efficiency and weight distribution, aluminum expands and warps rapidly under extreme heat compared to old-school cast iron blocks. This is exactly why your cooling system is so incredibly critical. Every 2 weeks, when the car is completely cold, check the plastic coolant reservoir. Never, under any circumstances, open a hot radiator cap. The system is under massive pressure, and opening it hot will spray boiling fluid everywhere, which is a painful mistake you will only ever make once. The coolant fluid level should rest perfectly between the min and max markings on the side of the reservoir tank. If it is low, top it up exclusively with the correct pre-mixed Honda spec fluid, such as Honda Type 2 blue coolant. Mixing generic, off-the-shelf green coolant with Honda's proprietary formula can cause a nasty chemical reaction, creating a thick gel that plugs up the tiny cooling passages inside your heater core and radiator. Look at the clarity of that fluid too. It should be bright, clear, and translucent. If it looks muddy, cloudy, or rusty, the anti-corrosion additives have broken down, and the system needs a comprehensive flush. Even worse, if you look inside and the fluid looks milky, frothy, or resembles a chocolate milkshake, you have oil mixing with your coolant. That means your head gasket has likely failed, and driving the car any further will permanently destroy the entire power plant. Before we move on to the next major warning signs under the hood, let us take a quick second. If you are finding this breakdown valuable and want to keep your car running perfectly for hundreds of thousands of miles, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. Sensory warnings and filtration. Speaking of things your engine is constantly trying to tell you, there is another category of clues that people regularly hear and feel long before they ever see a visual warning on the dashboard. What should make you stop and listen immediately, even if the dashboard warning lights are completely dark. Unusual engine noises, faint ticks, or subtle mechanical vibrations. When you first start your vehicle in the morning or cruise slowly down a quiet residential street, turn off the radio, turn down the air conditioning fan, and just listen. A healthy Honda engine should hum with a smooth, rhythmic, and predictable purr. If you start hearing a metallic clicking or ticking sound that speeds up as you press the gas pedal, your engine might have excessive valve clearance or be suffering from low oil pressure in the top end. A deep, heavy knocking sound from the bottom of the engine indicates bad rod bearings, which is an immediate death sentence for the motor if ignored. Hissing or loud sucking sounds usually point to a vacuum leak, which unbalances the air-fuel ratio and causes rough performance, while an uncharacteristically loud, booming exhaust note means a pipe or muffler has rusted through. Do not just use your ears, but use your hands and feet to feel the car as well. Does the steering wheel vibrate aggressively while you are sitting at a red light? Does the engine stumble, hesitate, or misfire when you gently step on the accelerator to merge onto a road? The single biggest mistake everyday drivers make is waiting around for the check engine or malfunction indicator light to illuminate before scheduling a mechanic visit. Your car's onboard computer is smart, but it only triggers a light once a fault code crosses a specific, pre-programmed failure threshold. By the time that amber light pops up on your instrument cluster, the underlying mechanical issue has likely been developing for weeks, compounding the damage and driving up your ultimate repair costs. Early detection saves thousands. Now let us pop the hood back open for a component that is incredibly cheap to replace, but routinely neglected. What is one cheap, fundamentally overlooked part that can quietly choke your engine's power and efficiency? The engine air filter. Every 2 weeks, take 30 seconds to unclip the plastic air filter housing box inside your engine bay. Your owner's manual illustrates exactly where this box sits. Pull the square or rectangular filter element out and hold it up to the light. It should look clean, off-white, or light gray. If the paper pleats are packed shut with sand, dead leaves, insects, dust, or thick black highway soot, it can no longer do its job effectively. If your car uses a specialized aftermarket reusable foam or oiled cotton filter, Clean and re-oil it strictly according to the manufacturer's steps. If it is a standard paper element, toss it out and pop a fresh one in. Think of your engine as a high-performance athlete. To generate clean power, it needs to breathe in massive volumes of oxygen. A clogged, dirty air filter acts like a heavy mask, choking off airflow. This forces the engine control unit to alter fuel delivery, reducing your fuel economy, sluggishly killing throttle response, and putting unnecessary structural strain on internal components as the vacuum tries to suck air through a brick of dirt. While you have that airbox open, take a rag and clean out the debris tray. Wipe away any accumulated leaves, twigs, or road trash blocking the front radiator fins. If plastic shopping bags or autumn leaves get sucked into the front grille, they block fresh air from passing through the radiator. Less airflow directly equals higher running temperatures, and as we established, heat is the absolute enemy of longevity. The external influences and routine framework. Let us step out of the engine bay for a moment and look around the perimeter of the vehicle, because an engine does not operate in a vacuum. The components surrounding it dictate exactly how hard it has to work. What external issue completely outside of the engine bay can still force the motor to work significantly harder than it should? Incorrect tire pressure and damaged undercar aerodynamics. Every 2 weeks, do a quick visual lap around your vehicle to check the condition of your tires and look underneath the front bumper. If a tire is even slightly underinflated, its footprint expands, drastically increasing rolling resistance. The engine is forced to burn significantly more fuel and exert far more physical torque just to push the car down the road at highway speeds. You do not need an expensive garage setup for this. Grab a simple digital tire pressure gauge, keep it in your glove box, and check the pressures when the tires are cold. Compare the numbers to the tire placard sticker inside your driver's door jamb, and make sure you aren't just reading the maximum pressure number stamped on the tire sidewall. Next, bend down and look under the front air dam. Modern Hondas utilize extensive plastic aerodynamic splash shields beneath the engine bay to smoothly route air under the chassis. If you scraped a curb and these panels are hanging down, broken, or dragging, they act like an aerodynamic parachute. They create massive wind drag, forcing the engine to work harder against the air while simultaneously exposing delicate wiring harnesses, air conditioning lines, and rubber coolant hoses to flying road debris, rocks, and water. Finally, we have to look at the big picture regarding comprehensive maintenance. If you perform all of these bi-weekly checks, does that mean you can safely bypass your regular factory recommended servicing? Absolutely not. These checks are your early warning system, not a replacement for professional maintenance. Think of these quick checks as preventative monitoring. They catch a problem before it leaves you stranded, but they do not replace the critical fluids and wear items that naturally degrade over time and mileage. Your Honda features a sophisticated maintenance minder system on the dash that displays specific codes when service is due, but you should always be aware of the baseline intervals. Instead of trying to memorize a rigid chart, just try to keep a few key milestones in mind as a generic guide. Your engine oil and filter should generally be swapped every 5,000 to 10,000 kilometers, or every 6 to 12 months, to stop internal friction and sludge buildup in its tracks. Your brake fluid needs a fresh start every 2 years or 30,000 kilometers to prevent moisture absorption and ensure you never get a soft brake pedal feel. For your engine coolant, look at replacing it every 5 to 10 years, or around 100,000 kilometers to maintain structural thermal protection and prevent internal corrosion. And finally, those critical spark plugs usually need to be replaced around the 100,000 kilometer mark, or every 5 to 7 years, to guarantee a clean, crisp combustion cycle and prevent costly misfires. Always make sure to consult your specific Honda owner's manual, because a turbocharged Civic engine has very different structural needs compared to a naturally aspirated V6 Accord or a hybrid powertrain. Did you know that Soichiro Honda once secretly purchased a rival American V8 vehicle just to embarrass General Motors and prove his engine supremacy to the world? In the 1970s, the United States passed strict new Clean Air Act emission standards. The CEO of GM publicly dismissed Honda, arrogantly claiming that while their efficient CVCC engine technology might work on a tiny, toy-like Japanese car, it was impossible to implement on a real American engine. Taking that insult as a personal challenge, Soichiro Honda bought a massive Chevrolet Impala, shipped it all the way to Japan, and ordered his engineers to design a custom Honda cylinder head for the Chevy V8 block. They flew the modified vehicle back to the United States, where it passed the rigorous EPA emission testing perfectly, completely defying Detroit by not using an expensive catalytic converter. The ultimate twist is that Honda's engineering prowess isn't just about small cars. They mastered the physics of clean, robust combustion so deeply that they successfully re-engineered their biggest competitor's flagship engine when GM's own team claimed it was physically impossible. It proved forever that brilliant engineering beats lazy, bolt-on fixes. Daily habits for longevity. Beyond the parts and pieces, how you physically drive your car every day plays an enormous role in whether your engine makes it to the Hall of Fame or the scrapyard. First, give your car a moment after starting it. You do not need to sit in your driveway for 10 minutes warming it up, because that actually wastes fuel and dilutes your oil. But give it 30 to 60 seconds for the oil pump to completely distribute oil to the top of the cylinder head before you put it in drive and accelerate hard. Second, avoid making every single trip a short 2-minute drive to the local corner store. If an engine never reaches its full operating temperature, water vapor and raw fuel droplets form inside the crankcase and never get hot enough to evaporate away. This creates a nasty, milky sludge under your oil cap and rapidly degrades your oil quality. Take your car out on the open highway at least once a week for a solid 20 to 30-minute drive to let the engine thoroughly burn off those contaminants. Third, use the correct fuel octane. If your manual specifies regular 87 octane, running premium is a total waste of money. But if you own a high-performance variant or a turbo model that explicitly requests premium fuel, using low-octane gasoline can cause pre-ignition or engine knock, forcing the computer to pull timing to save itself, which kills your efficiency and stresses internal components over time. Finally, mind your payload. Do not transform your trunk into a permanent storage unit packed with heavy gear. Exceeding your vehicle's gross vehicle weight rating means every single component, from the transmission clutches to the engine pistons, has to work under maximum load constantly, driving up operating temperatures and inducing premature wear. Building a long-lasting vehicle is not about luck, and it is certainly not about magic. It is about simple, boring discipline. By taking 5 minutes every 2 weeks to execute these checks, you transform yourself from a passive driver into an active caretaker of your machine. Your Honda is engineered to take care of you for years, so you just have to listen when it talks to you. Thank you so much for hanging out and mastering your engine health with us today. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Drop your thoughts in the comments section below and share this guide with any Honda owners in your life who might be neglecting what is under their hood. Check out the next video and stay safe on the roads. Thanks for watching.